Welcome to the Fatherhood News Podcast. Please follow us here and subscribe to us on YouTube for your daily news headlines of all the news from the fatherhood space in Elite Dangerous. Here are today's headline on the 2nd of November 3306. Tanner Penal Colony, a colony that has had its fair share of controversy, with some calling it an affront to human decency in the star system of Warnates, is once again the battleground that Sui Singh Netcom's organization need to defend, this time from the aggression of Union of Ashandra's coalition. This on the eve of a number of supporters of the coalition being found guilty of piracy and have been sent to this penal colony that has the nickname, the Hell in the Black. In other war news, Kier Dynamic Company have refused to accept defeat in the war with GD69 League. Pockets of Kier Dynamic Company resistance are still trying, but a spokesman for Erasmus Wolfden has said it's just a matter of time. Erasmus Wolfden will be sitting down with the Fatherhood's very own Jim Cooper for her first ever interview on the next Fatherhood News that can be found on YouTube and the fatherhoodwing.space site. In breaking news, Social Manamaya Democrats' Mini Horizons is on the eve of war yet again, with Social Manamaya Democrat Security stating that the forces of Fortuna Life Company have sent a war declaration. Followers of the Fatherhood News Network will know that Mini Horizons is the most contested hydrogen fuel depot in the LHS 197 star system and is located on LHS 197-2A, planetary body. And in our newest star system, the Liberty Party of Remind's civil war with Orion Space Security continues over the control of McCandless Settlement. This has been a bloodbath locked in a stalemate, with Liberty Party of Remind's barely winning. The Fatherhood have refused to comment on this situation and simply state that their thoughts are with the laborers and support is available once this war is over. Another civil war in Shetty between Shetty Limited and Defence Party of Shetty has erupted, with the military might of the Defence Party of Shetty overwhelming the small mercenary force of Shetty Limited. This war is for control of the agricultural installation of Grand Hawk Steading, a simple grain silo. It is unclear why the Defence Party of Shetty have taken this action. Shetty Front have said that the rapid growth of the Defence Party must be stopped, and have vowed that, "We will never bow to a military dictatorship if they come for us." Our final war news story for today is the fact that Nozen State Incorporated looks to have learned from the last war and have dominated the forces of LHS 1681 Confederacy for the right to universal reflection systems in V491 per se. These battle-hardened commanders have been engineering their ships and have outflown the LHS 1681 Confederacy in every fight. Moving on to election news, Gladuchin for Equality election with the Qui 11 resistance is tightening and will come down to the last day of votes, with Qui 11 resistance trailing, but have refused to concede. Qui 11 could still win this, but it will require a monumental effort on behalf of their supporters and passenger transport commanders. Due to hardware loss, all votes have been lost in the election for England Depot. Both Social Ross 346 Coalition and LHS 1483 Values Party have accused the Fatherhood of a cyber attack. This data loss was devastating to the supporters of both sides and have called for the Fatherhood to be removed from overseeing any further election in the star system. And some good news, with both sides deciding not to engage in war. The election for Cooper Enterprise between the Uchala Roja Travel Industries and its current owner, the Purple Transport Industry, has been given formal go-ahead by the Election Commission. Both sides have said they will run a clean campaign and may the best faction win. Moving on to business news, BD plus 69,238 posse riots continue, with the security forces of Silver Vision Solutions unable to contain this civil unrest, seeing their stock price and influence declining for another day. This has seen mounting pressure on the monarchy to refund the contested fleet carrier credits to the posse, but a spokesperson for the monarchy simply repeated that they will review this in the next meeting in the new year. In a strange development, the Gertrude Major Exchange and the Fatherhood have agreed a deal for water. This has seen Fatherhood Type 9s and the Gertrude delivering supplies under the protection of the Fatherhood. The Gertrude Major Exchange have formally apologized for the comments that were covered in the previous Fatherhood podcast and have said it was taken out of context. In Haejangai, the citizens have said that following the upgrades that Fatherhood engineers conducted on the damaged docks, that the new docks are better than ever, and called for officials to lift the infrastructure failure from their system have increased. And, in related news, the Defense Force of Haejangai have condemned the decision not to prosecute commanders for their health and safety violation. Confederacy of Kir representative was caught today on an open comm saying the Kir gang are a stain on the star system. The Confederacy have refused to reveal the name of the official. All factions in Kir have stood in solidarity with the Kir gang, and the Confederacy will be removed from the next meeting of the Kir 7 in Haejangai's sharp oasis. Calaga Republic Party and the Calaga Incorporated have struck a deal to supply refineries that have failed due to the neglect they have suffered by the previous government. This is hoped the Calaga Republic Party will end its infrastructure failure state sooner than reported to the market and return them to profit and higher influence. LHS 1848 Blue Ring demonstrations continues, with unarmed sidewinders refusing to enter the hangars in Abakirov Installation, Gagarin Dock, and Bachigalupi Survey. The Fatherhood control all those stations, and when asked about the demonstrations, the traffic officer has said, "There is nothing we can do. If we fire at them we will damage the docks, but traffic is being impacted and commanders may have to wait more to be cleared for landing." This just in, the Fatherhood News has learned that LHS 28 Commodities will be officially declaring an outbreak state in the next few cycles. The Fatherhood space has been clear of the virus for 2 cycles now. Fatherhood medics are en route to LHS 28 to try and control this outbreak. And our final story today, the bidding process has closed to provide relief and emergency support for the Manamaya rats. The Fatherhood will inform the companies that have been successful in the next cycle. Many smaller factions have claimed that the Fatherhood will carry favor to its larger suppliers that can afford to pay the over-the-market rate for transportation fee, and have accused the Fatherhood of creating this situation for their profit. This statement has been fiercely denied by the Fatherhood. We hope that you have enjoyed this podcast. Please remember to follow and subscribe for more updates of all the conflicts and state changes within the Fatherhood space. I have been Hannah Williams, and we hope to see you on the next installment of the Fatherhood News podcast. And as we say here on the Fatherhood News Network, don't dream of the stars, fly amongst them.